fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking get out of here.
Don't you love when people say, let's fucking go?
I used to.
Yeah.
But then I stopped using Twitter where everyone says the same thing every single day.
It was like, one person is voting for Bernie Sanders. Let's fucking go.
Well, no, I mean, Bernie did really good in the primaries. It's just that he got crushed when all the other candidates dropped out at the same time.
Yeah, he fucking went.
Yeah, where'd he fucking go?
He's
what do
still
we get?
talking, but his mic is turned down really low.
We have to fight against the Ollie.
We're back. We're alive. We made it, guys. I'm sorry about that.
It's like somebody writing in Bernie Sanders. That's let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. One person wrote in Bernie Sanders.
And they stayed in line at the polls for 4 hours after the polls closed.
Yeah, they tweeted constantly, stay in line.
The game is stuck. Oh, my bad. Sorry. We had so many tech problems. Look, we had so many tech problems. So many.
They're like your children that you don't love as much as some of the other ones.
Yeah, the sound tech problem was the biggest problem was that Windows didn't work. That's always the biggest problem. First, Windows doesn't work, and then you have to do a fucking firmware update, and then when all of that is done, fucking thing sucks. When all that is done, it has changed your security settings back so that it doesn't let you use a camera anymore.
No!
And then all the other stuff that I normally, take care to make sure works. My children, as you say, not somebody else's goddamn child. All that stuff gets neglected until the stream actually starts. So look, we're here. Everyone's alive. No one's bleeding, right?
Come on, let's fucking go.
The kids are fine. Let's fucking go.
The kids are in bed. Let's fuck and make more.
Yes, that's a fuck and go. Like that's a let's fucking go that we can all get behind. Secretly fucking while the kids are in bed. I am look, not to toot my own horn. I'm an absolute expert. You have no idea how good it's possible to get at doing that.
It's great that I'm friends with Meredith, so I can just like absorb some of her life through osmosis, so I don't have to live my own.
Oh man, no. Being an uncle, that rules, right? Like,
yeah, it does.
Like, if, I mean, I feel like, if I didn't have a kid, but one of my siblings did and lived right in town with me, I wouldn't be like, man, I wish I had a kid. I'd be like, this is easy.
Well, okay, so I'm kind of both of those things. I look at you, I look at all the like 7 million other parents in this town, and I think, oh man, I wish I had a kid. But like, when I'm over here, it's like, damn, this shit's not easy. What I'm looking at,
No.
when I get to see them put up with every single day, it does not look easy.
Yeah, when you're looking at the back of my head for every minute until we sit down to this stream, I feel like you get the message. Shit's busy.
Yeah.
But there is an intense satisfaction in getting everything done. When you lay down in bed at night, it's not because you fell asleep on the couch and then woke up and were like, oh, I should get to bed, and like dragged yourself in. It's because you got everything taken care of. The house is safe for all. Like, that's why I used to be, I've talked about this a little on the show. I used to be positively terrified of being murdered in my own home. Really scared. And like, now, it still creeps in. It's not completely gone. I used to have, I used to use my barking dog for that. She doesn't bark anymore.
Yeah.
And for years, I've lived with a man who I am confident. Anytime there's like a sound in the house, will go investigate without me asking him to.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. But, you know, when he's traveling and it's just me and I hear a sound and I start to turn into like a prey animal, I start to look like that side of a cat. I'm like, no, I can't do this because I'm in charge. I'm mom. Mom can't be this scared.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be the one to make sure the house is all clear. Like, if I don't think the house is all clear, I'm not doing my job. And in ways like that, and probably no other ways, in ways like that, it's good to be busy all the time. Because it takes care of all the stupid fucking anxieties that were draining me of my life.
Yeah.
And wasting my time before. Now I'm using that time. I'm cramming those minutes with things to do. And they're all things that are useful. I'm not like, you know, I'm not sitting there wringing my fingers, wringing my hands over nothing. I'm washing a goddamn dish. I'm cleaning some shit somewhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it seems like raising a human being is a real responsibility. It's not just it's not a chia pet.
Although I was thinking I'd like a chia pet.
Of your son.
Of my,
that, I mean, if his hair looked anything as beautiful as your real son, it'd be a great chia pet.
Oh my god, I bet you can order those, right? You can probably get like a chia head that kind of looks like your kid.
Yeah.
Like you can choose some basic features.
You could 3D scan him.
They'll print him out in terracotta.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll make it real looking. It'll be freaky.
It'll just be creepy.
It'll be like a death mask. You won't want that in your house after a while.
No. As soon as the chia dies, we gotta get rid of that shit. But for a few days, it might be fun to watch the chia seeds grow on my son's likeness.
Yeah, and he can say it's Chichimia.
I love that chia pets were literally just those seeds that I eat in my breakfast now.
Yeah, those are tasty.
Yeah.
They get all slimy and weird, and then they're hard to eat. They slip out of your teeth.
Oh yeah, no, they're terrible for a lot of reasons.
They get stuck everywhere.
Yeah, chia is
Every hole.
Oh yeah, no. Chia is a problem in many ways, right? Like we suddenly started eating chia instead of putting it on our chia pets. And suddenly there's all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
You really have to watch how much of it you eat, as you say.
Yeah.
And it gets stuck in every tooth. Like you'll just smile full of chia seeds.
Yes, every tooth.
But have you ever made chia pudding or eaten chia pudding?
I think so.
If you soak them for a really, really long time, they basically turn into tapioca.
Yum.
And at that point, they're delicious. So if you like soak them in like chocolate milk or something, delicious.
Yum.
Yeah. Very
Thug.
good. Yeah, thug. Remember the Obama chia pets? Yes, I do. Oh man, what is more indicative of the Obama years than the Obama chia pet? that we loved the president so much we wanted a toy of him.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing like a blow-up sex doll of Obama.
Right. But now that I'm an adult, I realize that wanting to have sex with the president is not unique to the Obama era.
Yeah.
I've seen it every president before and since now.
Even Jimmy Carter.
I mean, to be fair, I don't have an example. But totally, right? I mean, he's single. Oh, you just looked it up? Oh, Lobsy. It's so fun that there are people in the chat who maybe don't really even remember the Obama years very well, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wrote a blog post about octopus pie this week, and it actually wasn't really even about octopus pie. It was about how they read Octopus Pie and it reminded them of the Obama years. And then they talked a lot about what it was like and how only now are they realizing that we have enough distance from the Obama years to put into words what it was like.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're just starting to really remember and like look at that. Like I feel like a few years ago when Trump was first in office, people started to really remember what was absolutely insane about the Bush years, like the Bush 2 years. And I think we're just about getting to that point with remembering Obama.
Yeah, like, you know, Obama he became president and he ended the Iraq War. Then he got reelected and he started the Iraq War again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I mean, right, because, the Iraq War was... Right, but how many years did we have where we weren't there? I mean, probably
like
none.
a year or two? I don't even know.
I don't think we had any years where we weren't there.
Probably not.
We're just waiting. Jimmy Carter is lovely, but not a sex symbol. It could be that people see him as too much of a good person. Like, of all the presidents of the last, 40 years... Jimmy Carter is probably...
He's nice.
He's nice. We agree that he's nice, right? Not necessarily that he's a good president, but...
Yeah, that doesn't make you a good president, but it might be a good quality for a president.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, right? Like giving chicken soup to a dead man.
Like nice making man. Jimmy Carter president right now.
Right. Why not?
It couldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. When we were kids, we listened to this record, and it was a record that our parents had called You Don't Have to Be Jewish. I don't know exactly when it was originally recorded. I want to say probably in the 1970s, right? Yeah. And it was a series of sketches that were very Jewish, but it was produced by, I'm blanking on his name, but he had a variety show. Wait, I may be mixing some people up here. He was just kind of a TV personality in the 70s, 60s and 70s, and he produced this album. It was a huge hit. You really didn't have to be Jewish, but the jokes were all like this man comes home and he's like, "Where are you, darling?" And this woman's like, "Tee, I'm hiding." And then, he tries to entice her out a few times and she's just like, "I'm hiding." And then he's like, "I bought you those gold earrings you wanted." And she says, "I'm hiding in the front closet." She wanted the earrings. But by far, the funniest joke that we come back to all the time is a funeral service where the man is speaking. The rabbi is presiding over the ceremony, and a woman's distant voice is screaming, "Give him some chicken soup."
It's like, this man has passed on. He's dead.
It wouldn't help, but it wouldn't hurt. There's another one on there I really like, that is, this older woman is called,
oh yeah, the mom and daughter.
Yeah, the mom and daughter. Yeah, she picks up hello, and her daughter's like, oh mama, everything's going wrong, mama. And she just goes on, and everything's fucked up, like the kids are sick, and I gotta bring the thing to the thing, and like all these things. Like
and the driveway needs to be plowed. Yeah.
She's just moaning about all these very specific things that need to get done.
And grandma is like, "Don't worry, darling. I'll take care of it. I'll come over with chicken soup for the Kindle. I'll plow the driveway." All the things that she complained about. She says she's coming to take care of.
Oh, mama, thank you.
You so much.
Thank you, mother. And then the mother asks something specific and uses her husband's name, and she's like, "Who's that?" "My husband's name is Carl." And then she asks, like, is this
Tremont Simmons?
No, and it's like one digit off.
It's
and
one digit off.
Yeah, and there's like silence, and the daughter's like, does this mean you're not coming? Oh.
That was always my favorite one.
Yeah, no, so good. I love that there's this, like, at the base of all of our sense of humor is this, you know?
Yeah.
This fucking record.
Yeah, well, I wonder a lot about like all the things that originated from like the 70s that we don't even really think about.
Right, well, we were talking about that Partridge in a Pear Tree chain letter.
I love that one
a few
too.
months ago. Yeah, just like all this 70s humor that our parents were like howling, like in tears laughing at in our living room. Like the way our parents laughed, like I did not understand what it actually was to laugh. Like when you're a kid, you laugh bigger than you've ever laughed, and like there's nothing more fun than like hearing my son really laugh at something. Like he gives himself hiccups, he laughs so much he can't breathe. But like when you're a parent or just an adult, I mean, when you're an adult with like some perspective on life, you've seen some shit, your laughter just spills out of your face. You cry. You can't contain the snot in your nose. Like you feel like you're gonna stop breathing. Like my body falls over and squirms when I laugh. True laughter that I saw my parents doing, but I didn't like it was almost embarrassing to me that they felt it so much.
Yeah.
And now I get it. Now I'm that.
Yeah, now you're that.
What an interesting story.
Well, like, you know, I look at your son and think, like, it's amazing how, like, he's fascinated easily, and I'm not. Like, I always thought that I would be fascinated easily like that.
I thought it'd be easy. You thought your body would weigh 50 pounds forever and you'd be able to like roll and do stupid things with it forever.
Oh my God. Yeah, you could get hurt and it doesn't hurt.
No, it's like when an ant falls off something. It doesn't hurt.
It just keeps walking.
Right, like aren't you even gonna like stop for a second and go like, ah?
It's like, not today.
No.
It's like... You know, if it fell off the Empire State Building, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. No, you would just have more air to get carried by.
But yeah, like, at the base of our sense of humor is like these very Jewish things.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, a bunch of Jewish people howling with laughter in a living room. It's true. And this is like a thing that's so hard to explain to people. Like when people are like, where do your ideas come from? Or where does your sense of humor come from? And they're expecting you to tell them about a TV show or a movie or something you saw. And it's like, I've recently found a home video of like my brother's 8th birthday party, like our older brother's 8th birthday party. And the camera is just like in the room moving around and everybody is talking at the same time at full volume. Every single person is just yelling at the same time. You cannot hear a single word any of them are saying. And that's everything. That's like our minds developing in a room full of our family screaming about stuff. I'm sorry, you've got it or you don't.
You got it or you don't. Well, no, look.
Well, everyone's got that.
Everyone has lived some type of life, and I think it's possible for everyone to think they haven't, but they definitely have.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there was a time in my life where I thought that my life was boring.
Yeah.
And not full of things like that. Not full of like amazing chaos that was unique to us.
Oh man. Yeah, like I've started to think recently that my own existence is like cooler than me. Like I think that's an interesting thought, and I realize there's definitely fiction that does that, where the main character is like a huge loser, but like the world is so interesting that he lives like Futurama does that.
Right. But like he has the craziest adventures you've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of people have like you say, a cooler existence than they actually like know.
Yeah.
Like if they just had the ability to see that and harness that in themselves, they would know what kind of story they have to tell.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that and I'm not saying that people need to like live in a world of nostalgia like we do, but
yeah.
I think like people don't spend a lot of time remembering their lives. And I think you miss out on incredible context when you don't spend some time trying to connect the dots of your memory and like recall some of those experiences and people and like really dig for that stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I also assume that other people were like in therapy long before me. So like they've processed all this shit. They don't have to make art about it.
Well, maybe they have. Maybe
they're just better at hiding it.
Yeah, lying to their therapist about what happened to them, or abbreviating what happened to them because they are so entrenched in like therapy speak that like they've heard somebody else's phrase for what something is called and they've decided that that's what their life was.
They're getting therapy for someone else's life.
I mean, I do think like I'm not saying that therapy is bad for people. I've definitely benefited from it myself, but like it is entirely possible to go to therapy and not learn a single fucking thing about yourself.
No, you know what? I think it's kind of like, it's like people who skip leg day at the gym, right? Where they can be kind of disproportionate in their therapy, where like they're maybe like neglecting other aspects.
Perhaps they understand what everybody else's problem is.
Yeah.
Right? Like they maybe they're trying to come to terms with who somebody in their life is because they can't control that person. And that's productive, right? Maybe it's even productive to, just like, to vilify somebody who has mistreated you or who you just feel so hurt by. But if that's all you do and you're not exploring facets of yourself, if you're kind of just reducing yourself to like somebody who's had things done to them, then you're not getting the complete experience of like exploring your own memories and your own behaviors.
Yeah, that's true. Like you can't just think about, I was thinking about this earlier today, the sort of like things that everybody was there for, like the things everyone remembers, like, I don't know, just anything that's ever happened. It's like, we're a lot more than those things. Sometimes we make work about them because it's what we're thinking about that day. But ultimately, those things peel away and like, the person you are transcends the time you live through.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's like, when people say like, when people say stuff like, this is art about trauma, I'm always just like, not interested. And it's not because I don't want to hear people exploring their trauma in their art, but it's because so often what I see there is like people who are a product of their traumatic experiences and not the person that they are.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want to see. I really want to see somebody being themselves, with those events obviously, informing them, but not defining them.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been feeling that way about like nostalgic stuff. It's like there's remakes for everything, and even things that don't have remakes for, there's always going to be like a independent project where they attempt to do what the company would have done. But there's always like, you know, they always remake like I saw one for Banjo-Kazooie and I didn't like it.
It was like an indie project, or yeah. No,
they just like improve the textures. They add grass to everything. It doesn't come with any like actual creativity.
Do you think they're trying to work through their trauma by doing that? Their trauma of it not being like good enough graphics.
The trauma of never getting another Banjo game that was worth playing. Oh man, he gave up. Oh no, he's back.
I mean, he gave up. That could be part of it. I mean, I think there is something to like smoothing out a game infinitely. Like, I have a terrible habit of like biting my own skin. And when I talked to my therapist about it, she asked me what I was trying to achieve by doing that. And I said, like, I think maybe I'm trying to like have like a perfectly smooth surface. And like maybe that's like, it's sort of like an obsessive compulsive activity. They're just trying to make the game smoother.
Oh man. That's like something you need to do with like meditation. You need to become like a completely smooth surface.
Right. Like instead of like the scanning behavior that I do where I'm searching for the ragged skin to attack, I should be scanning my inner thoughts and finding ragged little strings of memories that I can pull on and let them unravel, and it's satisfying in the same way. Although I must admit, it still feels better to pick skin than to do that. But it's helped. Absolutely. There's definitely a correlation there between like my ability to like self-soothe, to use a therapy speak term, and my ability to like analyze my own memories and attempt to find truth in them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's also sort of a compulsion that leads people to be artists, is trying to control the chaos of their lives and like trying to control like the injustice of their memories, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to reconcile those things into something that makes sense.
Well, I was asking you earlier today, because I think of myself as being an artist primarily and a comedian second. Like, when I think about Dog of Wisdom, like, it's like, it would be great even if it wasn't funny. This would be kind of a funny idea by itself, but I guess I feel like humor is just part of it, where it's maybe has something to do with trauma too, like that I wish dogs could talk. I wish dogs could live forever. I wish dogs could like, that's something about Dog of Wisdom I think about, that like the characters are going to outlive the dogs, and that makes me kind of sad, but it's a fact.
It's what you can do, though.
Yeah.
Yes, we will get to Rugrats soon, but this is a nice juicy one, so let's chew on this for a minute.
Chew on the ball.
I mean, I think that comedy is a necessary part of what you do, and I think it's a necessary part of, at least, for me and for a lot of artists that I like, telling stories that hurt, like reliving situations that hurt. Finding the comedic element to them is important. Otherwise, for one thing, you're not going to get anybody on board with your idea if you don't give them a little bit of levity.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I make a scene in one of my games or comics or whatever that I know is going to like hurt the most,
yeah,
in the second draft, I'm always like, all right, but like, what's the funny thing here? Now that I've gotten it out, why is this hilarious? And I pretty much always succeed at finding it. And if I don't, then I don't think I'm actually ready to write about it yet.
Interesting. So you don't, do you feel obligated to find something funny? Like you really just can't put it in if there's nothing funny about it?
You mean for the audience's benefit or for my own?
Oh, well, I wasn't thinking about that. I guess I was just thinking about the game's benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if, whenever I'm making a scene, I'm looking for Like, what's the thing that goes about this?
Yeah.
What's the thing that fucks about this, you know? Because if it's not there, then it's really not a worthwhile scene, in my opinion. You know, unless you're just like transitioning from one scene to another and you need to bridge them. But if something is a major scene in your work and you don't get like a strong emotional reaction out of it, then it was kind of a waste. And those strong reactions come from both, you know, extreme pathos and extreme, you know, laughter. And maybe the same thing, really, right? Like when you're finding the humor in something upsetting, you are empathizing with the players in that scene. I think the two coincide. In order to really feel something, you must feel what's funny about it.
Well, yeah, because otherwise, how could you possibly be fully out of it? You can't say you know the story if it's still happening to you.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what I mean. Like when I have a draft that is just like so much of a bummer. It's not that I don't want to bum people out. I would like to. I'd like to hurt people, but I'd like to cause them pain, but I want to hold them in my arms while I'm doing it. And I just like, I think you're absolutely right. Like when I'm thinking that a scene isn't ready, that I need to walk away from it, I'm thinking I'm thinking that I'm not ready. Not ready to tell that story. I'm not ready.
This is cool.
This is an NES cartridge, by the way.
Yeah. Made by Limited Run Games.
Limited Run Games, yeah. I love watching you just get into a game.
Well, they made it easy enough for Tommy Pickles, the real one, to figure that one.
Yes, it's true.
Oh yeah, this is very intuitive.
Yeah, right?
Just figure it out.
Yeah. My impression of this game, I played a little last night. My impression of this game is that it's got a lot of NES features, but it's also got a lot of quality of life features of modern game design.
But yeah, like that is a little strange if you can't find anything funny about the tragedy you're writing. It's like the tragedy is your life. It's like you're Barton Fink.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I didn't notice that.
I'm small.
Well, you're in Gameland now. I guess you gotta fill that up, huh?
Okay, so I gotta get a whole bunch of... They made this game kind of look like it was made in Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
The little, like, victory.
Cute.
So they made this game for the Rugrats fans, the original ones.
Absolutely. This is like totally dedicated to...
Back in my day, we used cartridges, and they read the data directly from the...
Yeah, no, this is like...
This is like season... 6 gigabytes of RAM!
We had 15 bytes!
And they were enough! That's why we're making this game. Wait, so this is 2024?
This just came out like a few months ago.
That's why we're making it now, because not only is Rugrats still a great show, but the NES is still a great console. So why not, I guess?
Well, I was saying this to Mike. I love this. She calls them her subordinates. Suborbients.
Because I say so.
Stupid little babies.
Babies. Who needs them?
Yeah, Tabby.
Man, with funky music.
Yeah. Somebody is a real Mark Mothersbaugh fan making the music.
Maybe it was him.
I don't think so. I think this is all just a lot of really dedicated fans making a game.
Yeah, this reminds me a little of like, what was it? Like Way Forward's DuckTales?
Right. Yeah, that was fun. But I do love that this is like just an NES game and it's running on our like 40-year-old system right now.
Yeah.
I love all the artwork. It's so fun.
Well, like, how can you make NES games even more modern? Like, the EverDrive lets you have like, you know, an SD card on it.
Right.
So you could probably make a game that's like really like got like a ton of art, like let's do, just like make tremendous sprites like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like they must have more memory to make those big sprites, right?
Well, it still takes a really long time to load the game from the SD card, and I'm not even sure if you can make the game bigger than like a certain amount.
This one's a jam too.
Yeah, they just like, I don't know what the idea behind making this was, but they just made a regular NES game with like really good aesthetics. Look at this.
Right? So like, yeah, I don't know the story behind this game at all, but Mike told me there's a lot of very Super Mario 2 type stuff in this.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's like a little easier Super Mario 2.
Nice.
So, Mike told me that this originally was like HD graphics. And I don't know why it became an NES game. If anybody's got the intel on that one, I would love to hear about it. Because, I mean, this is obviously the right choice, right?
Yes.
But only Dorcases like us think so. So why? Why'd they do it?
Well, there've been other projects where they made a change halfway into development and said this is all wrong and fixed it. But the fix was insane, just like Conker's Bad Fur Day.
What was the fix there?
The fix was that they made him drink beer and pee.
Right, they made it like
vomit.
a gross out comedy instead of like another cute rare game,
which they already announced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a completely redone. It was like Conker's 12 Tales, and they had showed plenty of teasers and stuff for that.
Damn.
And like almost the game is almost done. They just like said we can't release this. It
has
sucks.
to be edgy.
Yeah, like they made it edgy, and you know I think they made the right choice. Although unfortunately I feel like that the 3D platformer died a slow and painful death because of edginess, right? Like they kind of just became first-person shooters.
Yeah.
And then first-person shooters became the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if edginess is the reason it died, but it definitely...
It's a symptom.
Yeah, right. The genre was dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying to Mike that I think making an NES game in the modern age is perhaps the purest form of video game art that you can make. The most divorced from money.
I mean, this is Nickelodeon. This is made by Viacom.
That's why I want to know why they made this. But I think in general, making an NES game, like the desire to make an NES game is the desire to make something purely like a video game.
Yeah.
Using an extremely limited palette on a nonetheless, you know, console with excellent titles on it. Like using an extremely limited tool set to make something that is just like pure fun.
Well, yeah, like, it feels, from looking at this, it makes me think that, like, the game studios have more power than we realize. That, like, they can just, like, say, oh, we're taking it in this direction. The company will be like, that's kind of cool, I guess.
So if you butt stomp them, they die, but if you just jump on them, they get knocked out.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe this was just, you know, Nickelodeon being like, we're gonna explore the retro market and see where it gets us.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, you know, kids don't care if a game looks old or not. They might love it. No, Tommy.
Tommy. No,
You lost your
Chucky.
Tommy.
I gotta rescue Tommy.
Chucky can jump a little higher than Tommy.
Wow. Oh, he's Luigi.
Yeah, exactly.
So sad.
As it should be, right?
This game feels kind of like a Game Boy Color game to me.
You're right. You're right. It has a bit of a game, like the cool music and the really attractive sprites.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Nintendo sprites were usually not super cute.
Well, like, you saw that bush a second ago, right? There was, like, multiple animation frames on it.
Yeah. Very lovingly detailed.
Like, this is a great game where, well, no, maybe the game is, like, it's like, yeah, like, you're Chucky Finster, so the game is definitely cooler than you. This song makes this world seem cooler than me.
Yes.
Oh no. It's like Ninja Turtles where you have to choose the next baby.
The next baby. So if you knock those guys out, they do occasionally give you more bottles, so you can you can recover. I don't know what Phil's power is. Lil floats like Lil is princess. No. You have to stomp it before. I think you have to stomp it before it gets like knocked. Yeah, there you go. Yes, this is a new game. For those asking.
I feel like this game has the quality of Rugrats. Like, this is what the game would have been like if it was released like while the show was at its peak.
Wow, you just like got him perfect that time. Yeah, and the fact that there was no Rugrats game for NES is really surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, because Rugrats was on TV in that era.
This reminds you that Judaism in Rugrats is a real Wikipedia article. Of course it is! This is what we had!
Yeah, this is what we had.
Rugrats Hanukkah Special, which was kind of late era Rugrats, not even that good. But Rugrats had... How Jewish is Rugrats? Let's talk about the ways.
Well, he's not the Jew.
No, Stu is not Jewish. He brings his Christian values to this world. But
he brings the schizophrenia to the gene pool.
But Dee Dee is Jewish, and she's got parents from the old country.
What is this? In old country we have chocolate cake.
The Kindle.
The dumplings.
Yes, and Tommy is Jewish, of course.
Yes.
He wants his mother to find her place in the sun.
Oh.
I love the one where Dee Dee goes on a game show.
Yeah. Super Stumpers.
Super Stumpers. She plays on this show, and Tommy is the only one who hears Dee Dee like privately lamenting. In fact, she says it to him. She's like, "Oh, Tommy, I don't know if I'll ever find my place in the sun." He's the only one who hears her say that. She doesn't say it to her husband or her father-in-law, who are just thinking about her winning prizes on the show. Dee Dee's looking for her place in the sun. She plays the game show. She's not doing very well. And I forget how Tommy helps her. He definitely escapes and goes backstage and does something that helps her, ultimately.
Right.
But she wins the show, and then they're like, what'll it be? The ultra washing machine, and like Stu's drooling, and like the super duper lawnmower, and what's the dad's name?
The dad? Oh, you mean
Phil? Grandpa Phil? Wait,
that's the grandpa from Hey Arnold.
oh, whoops.
Hey,
He's voiced by Dan Castellaneta.
What's Stu and Drew's dad called?
Oh, his name is Lou.
Lou, right. They're all ooh.
Yeah.
Because they're weird Christians. And they're all salivating over the prizes that Dee Dee can
The
get.
fondue set.
The fondue set. Just some stupid shit from the 90s that nobody would want like 3 months later. And Dee Dee goes for the gold-plated Dalmatian statue. And that's in the corner. It's not even like a featured object. It's just part of the set. And the men are like, ah! They're like, what? Like all their hard work watching Dee Dee play the game.
No.
Dee Dee wants the Dalmatian.
No.
And she takes
Oh my
the
god, no!
No!
List all my progress. I really like that this game is way too hard for a Rugrats
For a
game.
baby.
Yeah, it's not for babies.
Well, yeah, but neither was the show, right?
Well,
Later on, it was for babies.
it was pretty good for babies too at the beginning. Like,
Yeah, it was for everyone.
it's just good. It's just for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that they neglected the babies and
Yeah.
the babies were sitting there wondering why their adult parents were so excited about Rugrats. It was a show they all watched together and were like, wow, this is like as funny as The Simpsons. Like, that's what I was thinking watching it as an adult.
Oh yeah, totally. No, it's hilarious. It's hilarious, like making fun of these fucking yuppies who
They're
just
so
like
dumb.
they're so dumb. They're
He's
so
like-
goddamn stupid.
He finds Tommy after Tommy goes missing for like an hour, and he's just like, oh hey, there you are, Tom.
Yeah, always.
Hey, look, Wuggles, and he's like pointing at a donkey signing an autograph. It's like this fucking ADHD father is always losing his ADHD son.
Yes. And his job is to invent things.
Yeah,
He's an entrepreneur.
And yeah, the tragedy of his life is that he really oughtn't to,
No.
because his inventions scare his son.
Right, they're toys that children don't want to play with.
Yeah, toys that make children run screaming.
He doesn't understand a goddamn thing about kids. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll get to the episode where Stu turns into a baby in a second. But yeah,
This is like Mega Man! No!
oh, yeah, this is hard. These fucking birds. That's
the bird from the episode where he's like he's like abducted.
Oh, by the Grey Gardens
Yes.
people, yes. Oh my god, that one's so good too. But just like the spotlight shines on Dee Dee as she wins. She wins a prize that no one else wants. And Tommy says she did it. She found her place in the sun. And he climbs up on stage and she picks him up, and they're on stage together. It's just the sweetest thing. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, like when Tommy and Chucky is like, you did the right thing, Chucky, when they like return the sea monkeys to the ocean. It's like, you did the right thing, Chucky, and the sea monkeys will never forget you for it. It is the sweetest and also funniest thing ever.
Oh fuck, that's so funny. Yeah, they're just playing like this touching music that they dump the sea monkeys into the roaring ocean, instantly dying.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because they were doomed anyway.
His focus is elsewhere. Will never notice the time or times that I or some of the other neighbor kids go missing.
No. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. So there's an episode where Stu gets conked on the head and he returns to his childhood as a baby.
That's why I named myself Stewie.
Stewie, yeah.
Hey, Stewie, who are you? And he talks to them for the first time.
Yeah, and like, yeah, he talks to the babies, which is awesome. Like he speaks in Tommy and Chucky's language, and he thinks he's a baby. And at first, like for the first part of the episode, Tommy's so happy because now his daddy's gonna play with him, and then Tommy breaks a toy, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. My daddy'll fix." And he's just like goes silent, realizing he'll never have his daddy again if Stewie is a baby.
Yeah.
And he starts crying and he starts thinking about all the things his daddy does for him. And then Stewie is upset that Tommy's upset and he starts crying too. And then Stewie says, "I don't know how to be an adult, but I'll try, Tommy."
Yeah.
And then Tommy starts to try and teach Stewie how to be an adult. And one of the things he does, which I laugh at constantly, is like he hands Stewie a newspaper and he says, "Here, take it in the bathroom and don't come out till practically forever."
Yeah, that episode, yeah, that scene is really funny because it shows like what babies think adults are doing all the time.
Yes.
Like you just take this phone and you talk to no one. You just talk to yourself.
Yes. Yes. Right. They don't fucking get any of it. Well, yeah, even just like Angelica being like, "We're gonna be business lady now. I'm gonna be on my phone all day. I'm gonna be talking to my subordinates all day." Like, Angelica doesn't know what the fuck her mom does for a second of her day.
No, but she gets it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to because when she grows up, she's still gonna be just like that.
Absolutely.
She
Yes.
sees what things are good and emulates them without understanding
Well, yeah,
them.
her mother is modeling womanhood to her, and she'll never know another way.
I've been addicted to videos of cats who were raised by dogs and think that they're dogs.
Oh, man.
So cute. Like
Oh.
a little kitty standing like a pit bull and barking because he thinks he's a pit bull.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Angelica acting like a
My
businesswoman.
God. Angelica is a fucking nightmare, but you'd also love having her as your daughter.
Oh my
like
God.
that would be so cool.
Oh my God.
To have a little you bossing
yeah.
little babies around.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure, yeah. Angelica's mom doesn't think there's anything wrong with her daughter.
No one sees it. No one sees the bullying. That dad is not paying attention to any of this.
Anything. No, because he's just constantly thinking about like competing with his brother and conspicuous consumption. Like the entire world is his brother that he's competing with.
That's true. He hates his brother. Have I just been playing the same level over and over?
No. Oh yeah, do that one with Angelica's nightmare baby brother. I haven't gotten much further than this, but I'm assuming that eventually you fight Angelotron, right?
Maybe.
I feel like Mega Diaper Baby.
Not
Oh, man.
paying attention at all.
At all, no.
Digging to another
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah, just pretending to exercise by wearing exercise clothing. Just living in her athleisure.
Yeah, I forget you can crawl. That's something babies do best.
Yes. Yeah, they're very good at fitting through little spots. So this is a extremely Mario 2 level.
Oh, this music is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, like she's like doing a little curtsy while she floats. Yeah, Lil is like the perfect character for this level.
Phil and Lil's like missing teeth are really funny.
Oh man, I know. Everything about Phil and Lil is so funny because they're like kind of sociopathic, right? Like they don't feel any remorse for anything. They don't know how.
They're like in tune with each other. I feel like they're always going to be in cahoots with each other.
Yes.
That's just what it means to be a twin, right?
Right. And even though they're boy and girl, nobody can tell them apart. Like they don't get to have their own life.
And even if they're worst enemies, they're still more friends with each other than you.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's one episode where Phil and Lil are having a fight.
Yeah, I love that one.
I kind of forget what happened.
If you were a twin, you wouldn't forget.
No. No. Right. It was the twin episode.
It's like Angelica tricks them into thinking that every family has a favorite.
Right.
And
They want to be the
reject.
favorite and the reject. Right. And Tommy doesn't have to worry.
That's gotta be the best episode of that show.
Oh,
That's
man,
so
the
good.
favorite
and reject. Horrifying. Scary. It's like they have these fantasies about what their parents treating them different.
Yes.
What they're gonna treat them like when they realize who the favorite is and who's the reject.
Well, yeah, I mean, Angelica has a whole nightmare episode about having a sibling.
Which this
is her
level is
nightmare.
about.
Yeah, the boss of this level is the baby she dreams about.
Oh my god, terrifying.
Terrifying, yep. That her parents are just going to like heap all of their attention onto this gigantic baby that gets bigger all the time.
Hey sister, what are you still doing here? I thought I told you to scram.
Right.
Oh, by the way, we're giving the baby your room and we're giving him all your toys. Like,
oh my god.
Doug also did that. But Rugrats, I think, was like even better with the cinematic stuff, like the terror that you would feel, like the anxiety you'd feel in one of those like fever dream or like imaginary moments in Rugrats, like when Chucky thinks that there's a guy in the greenhouse who's gonna kill him.
Yeah. Oh my god, the shit that Chucky was afraid of getting sucked down the drain. Oh no, wait, Tommy was afraid of getting sucked down the drain, and Chucky had already received therapy for this. He was like, Tommy, come.
It's like, I used to think that too, but then I heard a song, a wonderful song. What song? Come in here.
It's like a plastic record.
Yeah, he plays a song on a plastic record, which is really cool technology.
Oh, yeah.
Still, I'm like, how they do it.
Yeah, amazing. The water's your friend, the tub is your pal, you can't get sucked down the drain.
And Chucky had gotten over it thanks to a great song that really helped him through his trauma.
Yes.
And then Angelica just brought it right back.
Yeah, just
by
dredged it
saying,
all up.
"What? No, you can get sucked down the drain."
She tells a story about a kid that had happened to.
Yeah, I think a kid who lived real close to here got sucked down the drain.
Oh my god, so good. So good. People in the chat are bringing up late Rugrats and like spin-off series, and I just want to clarify that none of that happened.
Yeah. None of the Rugrats episodes that had black text. Oh wow.
Or blue skies. Or wait, purple skies? Which one was bad?
It's like when you turn on the episode.
Oh yeah. The title is in black.
The intro is the same, but the text for the title of the episode is either red or black.
Right, and you run screaming if it's black.
Yeah, run screaming from black. And then eventually they were merciful and they changed the opening so we could know.
Right,
to
you
run.
could just know when to run. You didn't have to scream anymore. So like the vantage point changed in later Rugrats. I'm gonna stop talking about late Rugrats in a minute. But the vantage point changed. The do-wads. So instead of looking from the ground up, you were looking from the sky down at the babies.
Yes. We've talked about this before, and I finally see it. That it's like a show where you get to look at babies instead of a show where you get to be a baby and think like a baby.
Why would you want to look at babies on a TV show? Just look at a real baby.
Yeah, like they somehow missed the point. I feel like like I wanted to know why all that changed, and it was because Paul Germain, the head writer, he took a hard line about some things about the show, and they didn't want to have the show be brought in his direction. The executives like Arlene Klasky and Gabor Chupo, they disagreed with the writers, so the writers quit and went on to make.
You can just toss it from there, like from the lower platform. You can just toss it down to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I remember you telling me that there was an exodus from the writers' staff because they wanted to make all these changes. They wanted Angelica to be less evil, and
they got their way, and
Yeah.
Angelica stopped being a character. But I think the reason was because Paul Germain was basing her off of a real bully from his childhood.
I mean,
and
Angelica hurts. Like she's
It's terrible
a real piece of shit.
what she
kid.
does to those babies.
Yeah. Yeah, the way she
like slaves.
Yeah, no, and the way she like tells them a story, like she acts nice now and then tells them an evil story that haunts their nightmares.
But yeah, there was that one episode where they feel sorry for her
Because her boyfriend, she has her boyfriend.
No, because I forget which one is it where like they like she's like, I need you babies or something like that.
I don't know. Right, where she admits that she'd be nothing without the babies.
She often gets into situations where she is just brought to her knees. Like when she's like, it's my daddy, and he's laughing. Like, you remember what I'm talking about? Where she thinks that like everyone's like looking for her. And like I think it's
they can't hear her. They decided to ignore her.
They ignore her, and then like Drew comes home and she's like out in the rain and she can see him, and like she thought this whole time that he was looking for her, and like he doesn't even know she's gone missing.
Oh my god.
And she starts crying, and she's really just brought to nothing. Like, she is so much more pitiful. She has even less dignity than, like, Chucky sometimes.
Oh my god. Right, I forgot about that, like, Dee Dee is like, Angelica is being so bad that I just have to ignore her. And she's like, I thought I heard a little voice. I guess it was just the wind. And it just makes Angelica's world goes crashing down. She's never been ignored before. There she is. Doing hero's work by ignoring that little bitch.
Yeah, but she's also ignoring me, which is bad.
Yeah, that is bad, Dee Dee.
I was right in front of you.
You just walked right into the refrigerator.
Oh my god, this is like Pugsley scavenger hunt. I can see all the different little influences. I love it.
Yeah, right? Fun.
These developers probably grew up with NES games like we did.
Yes.
And they grew up with Rugrats.
Yes, and they wanted to, and like there's obviously like you can tell there is no canonizing of anything other than like classic Rugrats that we know and love.
Right. They also agree that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That preschool days with Susie and Angelica cartoon in the early 2000s did not happen.
Absolutely not. What's the other one I was thinking? I love the one where Angelica has a boyfriend, Dean. It's like the first cool boy she's ever seen in her life.
He's got a pompadour.
He's got a pompadour, and he rolls in on a little trike, and he's got a guitar with one echoing little string on it, like this metal sounding string. And she's like sitting with him on a bench, and he's going, "Now I know my ABCs." And it's like the camera is inside the guitar watching that string vibrate. Next time, won't you sing with me? Angelica's like, oh, Dean, that song used to seem so educational to me.
Yeah, that's a great episode. We never found out whose kid that was either.
No, you shouldn't find out whose kid that is, right? He just rolls into the backyard and rolls out again.
It's like, Dee Dee, could you watch Dean? It's like, oh, I'm sure he'll get along fine without Angelica.
Yeah, I mean, does Dee Dee notice that he's there?
I mean, she shouldn't pay attention to any of this shit.
Right. She doesn't even notice. He just runs into their yard and plays with them.
I mean, I've noticed like how much attention you parents pay attention to the kids. Like you don't look at them every 5 seconds. It's maybe every 15 seconds.
Yeah, but if there's like suddenly a new kid in the yard, we'd be like, whose kid is this? They never do that. And that's like, yeah, I think like suburban life in the 80s and 90s was a lot less supervised than it is now.
Well, they just put kids in front of TV back then. You know, the kind we're playing on right now.
Yeah.
We would just sit there.
Yeah, I know.
How do I get up there? Aha.
Nice. Take this off from it.
Yeah, it's good to see that, like, some fans of Rugrats also recognize that there was just such incredible taste in the show that they had to make the game match it somehow.
Absolutely. Yeah, like just seeing the value in making a Rugrats game this many years after the original. Like, you must love this show. You must see why this show was special.
Well, but also, like, you were saying about how Oscar just sees all games as equal. He doesn't even think about how it's 8-bit.
No, because, like, the graphics war is basically over, right? Like, we don't have a PS5 in our house, but even if we did, like he's seen PC game graphics before. I don't think he cares at all, and I think, you know, for him, lower res graphics are actually like perhaps a little more like kid friendly. So you know, if you see low res graphics, you're like, well, this game's more for me than that other game, that gritty game. No, the quality of graphics is not a selling point at all at his age. And, you know, I'm sure that has the potential to change. But, like, you know, if you're trying to market games at people in his age group, I just don't think they care that much. I think they play all kinds of games.
Yeah. That's great. I'm glad that we don't judge games based on their, like, graphical capability. That's why when I see remakes and all they really did was take advantage of the modern graphical capabilities, I'm not really impressed.
No, because you've just, like, instantly dated the new game.
Yeah.
By making it. Like, the other game was going to live forever because it was good, not because of the graphics of the time.
No. Although the graphics at the time were still impressive, and you lose that by saying, oh, well, we could do this, this, and this now.
Right. You should be looking at and being like, this is what they did in the time that they had.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that way about games in general. Like, I hate that we live in, like, unfinished game world. I think games should be finished, and they should be considered on the merits of what people got done in the time that they had with the money that they had. I don't think it's fair to, like, constantly be evolving your game.
Yeah.
I understand why software needs to be updated. And if you're adding features to the game, I suppose that's fine. But, like, the idea of a game, like, releasing, but then, like, don't worry, we're gonna make it better. Then you can decide whether it's good or bad. I just don't fucking believe in that. I don't think that's a thing.
That's a terrible fucking trend. Or the worst trend.
Yeah.
What does Orson Welles say? One of the most detestable trends.
What did he say it about?
About the, like, homage.
About making homages in film?
Is the homage.
I love that.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe just come up with some shit.
Yeah.
It's like there's being influenced, but, like, I feel like there's a sort of unhealthy way of, like, signaling that to your audience in a weird winking way that distracts you from the actual thing that you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yes.
Like, look at all the games I've played. Look at all the games I remember.
Yeah, that's not really what we came here for.
Not really. I mean, we wanted a little, but you're misinterpreting what we want.
Yeah, well, I've talked about this before, like, I think I first heard Cameron Kunzelman talking about this, this idea that, like, people are designing games for an imagined audience.
Oh, no.
And that is just... Can't you just jump over that?
I wasn't thinking about how high I could jump in this game. Imagined audience, like that game that never came out.
Oh wait, that one recently that, like, came out and got canceled in one day.
Yeah.
Concord, yeah. Yeah, they imagined the audience, and then the audience wasn't that, and then they canceled the game.
Dude, you can just imagine the audience. I didn't even have to make a good game. I can just imagine them.
In that case, they're imagining the metrics of the audience, right? They think that there's a lot of people like this who are going to play.
A lot of people who want this awful game.
Yeah. Turns out no. But I mean, whether, you know, even if you're not thinking about how many people are going to play your game, which, you know, everybody wants their game to be played by a lot of people. You can choose what genre you work in if you're really concerned about demographics, I guess. But if you choose, like, the content of your game based on, like, some guy in your head that you've made up that you think is hungry for a certain type of game, you're just not going to make anything interesting.
It's gotta be for the one real guy that you know is gonna play the game. That's the only way this game was made, right?
The one real guy?
There was definitely one person who imagined this game, like maybe even for themselves, and was like, I need to get Nickelodeon to let me make this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the one real guy is the guy who made the game.
Or just some friend of his who's been asking for a Rugrats game since they were kids.
Man, I love this boss music.
It's like, I bet my friend when we were 5 that I'd make the Rugrats game when I became a grown-up.
All grown up. Oh yeah, there was a grown-up episode of Rugrats where Tommy and Chucky just have their baby heads but on adult bodies.
That's another classic.
Oh my god,
Holy shit.
There's so many great gags in that one. Like Tommy looking at his wrist and being like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, that's another great example of what babies think adults are up to all day.
Yes,
just
going to work.
Going to work and like pushing paper.
Nice.
Like literally pushing piles of paper.
It's not an homage, it's a blow-homage.
It's a blow-homage.
My original homage.
Well, yeah, I mean, this game wasn't an homage. They just made a Rugrats game for real.
Yeah. They took everything fun about Rugrats and they figured out what would feel fun to play in Rugrats.
They also just made a good NES game. Like, what are some of the things we love about NES games?
Like feeling powerful and crispy, crunchy controls and graphics and stuff.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love those sound effects. I wouldn't expect a Rugrats game to be good. I would expect it to be dumb and for babies.
For stupid babies.
Well, I guess this is like if Angelica made a game. Standards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she made the best animation because she made it about herself. She made it about herself being huge. Chucky made his animation about being him. Like, he made his animation about being sad and scared.
I'm trying to remember that one now.
Oh, Chucky did his animation on a chalkboard, and it was all black.
Right, they made cartoons. Which was, I think I've mentioned this before. There's an episode of Muppet Babies, not to get off Rugrats for too long, but there's an episode of Muppet Babies where they made cartoons on an 8mm camera that literally changed my life. Like, they showed me what was possible. But yeah, there was a Rugrats episode too where they made animation. And I was like, oh, even babies?
Yeah, like they use Drew's important papers to make animations.
Yes, I gave Joe a joint to smoke. I'm dry all October. I'm clean as a whistle. I've been sleeping great. But you know, my weed's going stale, so Joe's doing me a favor here. I haven't seen any oh man. I haven't seen any Cynthia yet in this. I feel like Angelica, they haven't even really opened up the Angelica stuff yet. Oh, there's Cynthia. Her head's floating. Oh man, that's
this
so
is
funny.
modeled after a classic Castlevania enemy.
Oh, man, that's
that
so
looks
fucking
exactly like that.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. But it's just fucking Cynthia.
My God. That is funny.
Cynthia alone is such an ingenious creation.
Destroy her. Yeah, Cynthia is just like, it's just like a sign that you know the people writing this actually had kids
Yeah.
or like know anything about kids.
Yes. Just like her
The
like
most abused doll in history.
right. But
And
she's
she has the most blank expression.
yeah, the most blank like woman's face.
Almost like she can feel the pain inflicted on her. She's not smiling like a classic Barbie would be
Oh
smiling.
my god. Yeah, no. Yeah, just blank, just emotionless. And like every once in a while, you actually get to see what Cynthia is supposed to look like on a box or on like a commercial or something.
Yeah.
And she's like totally different looking.
Yeah, like she doesn't look like that. And like I didn't realize she didn't look like that originally.
No. Oh, that Angelica hadn't ruined her.
Yeah, like thought it was just like a weird doll she had. But like, yeah, it's just destroyed. Like the hair has been washed in all sorts of chemicals.
No.
Yeah. I had a twin sister, which is kind of like a little sister, and she would make all sorts of concoctions. She would like, you know, she had like those what were those felt little animal people toys called?
Oh, I forget. What are they called? Somebody in the chat will know.
It was like calico critters.
Yeah, calico critters.
They're really cute.
Yeah.
And Jackie would just like, she would just like pull their arms off
Yep.
and like put them on the other ones,
Yeah,
like Sid.
Because like you know, mothering is just one of the things that you're meant to do with the toys you're given.
Oh, I'm supposed to throw something at Bappa.
Yeah. Oh, it's Bappo.
Yeah.
I'm Bappo.
Bappa.
But then how are you supposed to get on that platform after you throw something?
How is he supposed to make friends if he's just in his room bopping his Bappo?
Did they say that on Rugrats?
Yes.
Fuck, man, that's so fucking good. Oh, shit. Sylvanian families, yes, to non-US people.
Is there something deeper to that? Like Chucky having a toy that he smacks hard every day? Like he's pent up frustration from not having a mother or something?
Not having a mother and just being like a little wussy kid. And,
Yeah.
and his dad also has no courage at all.
Yeah. He can't hit his dad, so he hits Bappo.
Oh my god. Yeah. Right, like one day Chucky, if Chucky learns anything from his good friend Tommy, he's gonna learn to kick his dad's ass. No, he'll feel sorry for his dad because his dad didn't expect to be a parent by himself.
Yeah.
Although in the old Rugrats, there is no actual suggestion of what happened to Chucky's mother. So you don't have to buy the premise that they came up with later. Nice.
Oh my god, I don't! That never happened!
No, Chucky's dad is divorced.
Chucky's mom did not die tragically. Give me a break.
No, Chucky's dad was never even married. She just had a baby and then she was like here and she left.
Well, you know, I'd rather it just be ambiguous where like they were trying to do that originally where they never say it.
Yeah, they
You can
never
kinda
mention
just
it.
get the sense that he's divorced.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like Chucky's mom being like a sentimental thing where like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like remembering Chucky's mom.
No,
like
it sucks.
Yeah, I don't buy it. It sucks.
No, it should just be cold hard facts that Chucky has a dad and that's it.
Well, yeah, it's better to just like think that maybe she died. That's still there hanging
Right.
if you never say it.
Right. Why do you have to say it? because you need more episodes.
They did Hey Arnold dirty that way too.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was much cooler if Arnold just lived with his grandparents in the city, and we don't know why.
It's like, Arnold, I often think about the fact that you don't have parents. And he's like, really? Because I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't think about it. He's just a cool kid who lives with his old parents.
Yeah. He's like, I got my grandpa. He's cool.
Can he jump from that metal block?
Oh, maybe. I'm having trouble seeing, is that? Yeah, that's part of the background. Oh, I see.
Nice. They really make you work for those cookies.
But yeah, they changed it so he's like, come on, Gerald, just this once, follow me to Brazil, and we can look for my parents' remains.
Yeah.
It's like, Arnold, I used to think you were bold. Now I think you're nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, he's crossed the line into nuts.
Yeah. You're right. Arnold got a little less cool as the show went on.
Well, it didn't affect him.
Yeah. Well, Arnold would go through a whole episode and everyone would be like, man, shut up, Arnold. And they'd all walk home because they're cool. They're just kids hanging out in the streets. And then Arnold would just shrug and walk home. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, because she would bump into him every single day and he would never take a hint. So he would just shrug it off every time.
Oh yeah, no. Fuck you, Arnold. I don't fucking love you. Fuck you. You fucking suck, Arnold. I hate you. It's like, all right. Like a little jazz
tune. Pick up some more
play.
Advil while you're up, football head. Whatever you say, Helga.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He'd marry her. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him.
Damn it. But yeah, I suppose every show has that. There's no way to get away from it, especially with a big hit like that. The characters over time, the writers forget what the point was or something, or they forget the really deep hidden stuff that only one guy knows.
right, and that one guy hasn't worked on the show in a while.
I feel sorry for whoever wrote Chucky because they must have been this kid.
Been Chucky, yes. This poor little 2-year-old boy. Oh yeah, another thing. I was talking to Mike about this yesterday. Later on, I'm sorry, we're talking about the later on, but I'm just trying to get across how good this show was. Later on, some idiot decided that because Chucky has been 2 for a while, he should learn a few words. But obviously, Chucky is supposed to be a non-verbal child.
Oh.
Right? He's 2, but he can't speak.
Yeah, they have him talk to his dad single words.
Yeah, he says a few little words later. And it's just look, I know eventually this child would come out of his shell, but the child that you're portraying here cannot speak yet. And that's part of him.
I never picked up on that, but you're right. He's nonverbal. He's just if he needs something.
Yeah, he can't talk yet because he's just he's not like Tommy, who's just desperate to grow up. Like Tommy's looking for that next step all the time. Chucky is very neurotic and he's struggling and he has not learned to speak yet.
I'm so lost. I mean, he's acting pretty brave in this.
Yes, he is. This is just Gameland. Stoop kid's afraid to leave the stoop. That's right.
Oh yeah, they were relentless. They lived in the city.
They lived in the city. These wild kids.
Yeah, they just played ball on the street.
I loved it. They were all 8 years old, and they were just totally independent.
They were 9. They say it over and over.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, totally independent city kids. Cool. And they would be like, we're meeting tonight, right? They'd all just meet somewhere. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess a different kind of non-supervision.
Yes. Well, they also, all right, family situations in here were not great either, right?
No, they were, there was a lot of dysfunctional families.
Helga's family in particular. I feel like part of, the heart and soul of that show was like watching Helga live in that house.
Yeah. Yeah, with Big Bob Pataki.
Big Bob Pataki, a fucking beeper salesman, and her mother who was just drinking all day.
Yeah.
She had the saddest fucking voice.
Yeah, you know Big Bob is like he's like a part-time criminal, right?
Oh no, totally corrupt. Totally
he
fucking
sells
corrupt.
beepers to criminals.
Yes, the guy is 1 degree away from a heart attack at all times.
Yeah.
And and then Helga has a sister who's perfect. She lives in another city and she's overachieved in absolutely every way.
Yeah.
And her parents are left with this kid that they're done being parents.
Yeah, he calls her Olga, which is her sister's name.
Right,
Yeah,
the kid is
I'll
not
get to it,
nice.
Olga. I'm Helga!
Oh my god. That's why, like, the thing is, like, if Helga was ever just like, Arnold, do you want to be my boyfriend? He'd be like, sure, right?
Whatever you say, Helga.
Whatever you say, Helga. But because she despises herself so much, she can never even let him look at her.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess so. Like she does eventually go to therapy. Like,
yeah, that's late show stuff.
I think it's funny when cartoon characters go to therapy because, like, when they do that, they cease to be characters if they're cured, right?
Absolutely. Well, even if they're not cured, the things they admit are sort of like a bit of a post-mortem on the show.
Yeah.
Helga admitting that Arnold was kind to her at an early age is like, you know, all right, we can pack this up and go on now.
Yeah, although they did have plans to make a spin-off about Helga and her family.
I would have enjoyed that, yeah.
I think that's where the show was going, so it probably would have been a little bit more what they were interested in doing now.
Right.
Like,
yeah, rather than making like a fucking like Amazon adventure where they look for Arnold's parents.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I remember seeing like some of the other Nickelodeon revival movies, and they were all really just like whatever. Like I didn't care for them.
I was rooting for that stuff when I was like a teenager, but
yeah.
Like, at a certain point, I simply must let go.
And yeah, it was always like too late. But I feel like this game is doing something right, where it's like, it's not like, all right, nostalgia overload, let's fucking go. It's like almost like a normal thing. It's like buying a loaf of bread. It's like, oh, there's a new NES game. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like they made a new game.
A loaf of bread, because it's just good.
It's just bread. It's like, I'm not gonna freak out about it, but like, it's good.
It's good.
It's unleavened bread. It's my religion.
Right. Delicious matzah. Yum.
Yeah, and you know, it's a little bit kind of like what I've experienced before. It's a bit formulaic, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I still need it to survive.
That's
right. I still need good things to survive, and this game's good.
This is our daily bread. I mean, yeah, daily bread is how I feel about things that have been good for a long time that you kind of take for granted.
Oh man, yeah.
Like, this has never really been my band, but I remember somebody saying this about the band Spoon, because like every year or two they would put out an album that was about as good as the last album they put out.
Uh-huh.
And that people just kind of overlooked them completely because of that. Because they were just the same level of good for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And there's like, what are some things you feel that way about?
Well, I felt that way about World Inferno Friendship Society, that they just kept making good album after good album, and then the lead singer died.
Right, he died.
They stopped forever.
Well, I mean, they should if he's dead.
Yeah, there's no other way.
I mean, I think, you know, people take bands for granted a lot because music is like, you know, so associated with youth and newness and novelty, and when a musician is around for a long time, it's kind of hard to convince anybody to care.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's probably, it's true in a lot of forms, not just music. You live for long enough and people are like, you're still here?
No. Yeah, like Tony Hawk
Like
has
Tony
to
Hawk.
experience that.
Yeah, just like it became boring that he was the best. You know? People
Yeah.
are bored by his existence.
Yeah, they're like, what happened to Tony Hawk? And Tony Hawk's like, well, I'm right here. As if there's some cooler Tony Hawk out there.
Yeah. Oh, did you get it all? You keep
I don't know
going
where to
back
go
to
now.
the.
Yeah, I'm
going back to the
going in
beginning.
circles. Where do I go now?
I don't know. You've done this so many times.
I'm lost.
Yeah, I feel that way about like the new Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Very daily bread.
It's still just good.
Yeah, you just take a bite and it's good. It's not like this isn't going to shock you out of your skin. It's going to be the same good that it was before.
Kind of like Papa's Gatito.
Yeah.
It's good. It's not like, oh yes, Joe uploaded. It's a little less exciting than that.
But it's like that same level of quality that you've
Yeah.
come to expect. You're gonna get a good laugh out of it, and then you're gonna watch it again and get another laugh out of it, and it feeds you.
Yeah.
It sustains you.
Yes, like a spoon with peanut butter. Yes, you want what's on it.
Yeah, not the most exciting snack, but yeah, you want. Somebody offers that to you. Yes, please.
Yes. Especially if you're a dog, which you are.
Oh man, I've been giving Heidi so many treats lately because she's just so old. Like, you know, if I eat a piece of bread, I give her a piece. If I eat a little bag of chips, I give her all the crumbs. Like, I've just been pouring the crumbs into her bowl lately.
Oh, cute.
Good. She deserves it.
Well, I'm totally lost.
You're totally lost. We've only got like 15 more minutes before the stream is over. I guess it was a bit abbreviated tonight. I love that we mostly just talked about Rugrats.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
It was very nice. Well, this game is good. Like,
Yeah, this was fun.
I have no idea how this game did. I saw a few people talking about it, but it's because I pay attention to video game releases.
Yeah.
I don't know how this game did.
Well, how do you even play it?
How do you even play it? You
we have
can
an
just buy it on
NES.
Steam.
Okay.
But
So it's okay. That's great. So it's like the same thing.
I can look and see how many reviews it had, but I hate to look things up on the show. Let's just not know.
Let's just not know,
I love to just not know.
or better to know, so you don't have to look it up.
That's right. Oh, do you want to talk about a series of unfortunate events?
Oh yeah.
I've been watching. I watched the movie with my son because he's been reading the books with Mike. So we put it on the last 2 days. We watched it in 2 parts. What do you think of that movie?
It is one of the best 7 out of 10 movies. It is like, it's got problems. Like even the CG is a bit like ugly in some spots, but it's one of my favorite movies because it just like perfectly captures the atmosphere of like that sense of humor from those books. Like
Yeah.
the way it looks fake is perfect for
Yes.
that movie. The perspective looks so bad sometimes.
Oh man, well, like the house teetering over the lake, it like just looks incredible to me. It's so stylized. I'm absolutely with you. It's a 7 out of 10 movie.
Because it's got like there's weirdness with it, right? It's too much put into one movie.
Yeah. Well, I've never read the books, but Mike was telling me that like the whole part with Uncle Morty.
Yeah.
That was like it's like boiled down to like 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
And that was like an entire book.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, you should read the books. The books are good. I read them because Danielle told me to read them.
Maybe I'll catch one of them with Mike and Oscar.
They go by really fast.
Yeah.
And they're so funny, just like the movie. But like the things that happen to the Baudelaire children is so much worse. Like they're forced to work in a sawmill.
Oh my God.
In one of the books. And oh damn it.
I mean, Mike was telling me that like the way Jim Carrey is funny, like Count Olaf is not funny. He's just completely evil.
No, he's not funny at all. Like Jim Carrey is good, but that's not Count Olaf really. Like he's like you said, he's just like a bad guy. But like I think, you know, the ridiculous way he wears disguises is it makes him being a funny character played by Jim Carrey not that weird.
Yeah.
It's not Whiplash or anything.
No. And I mean, it's not the first time that like Jim Carrey has like put his own hilarious spin on somebody else's character. That's why you get him.
Yeah.
They got the guy. Back to Mario. Nice.
I forgot I left the N64 on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that he's just a purely evil character.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I always complain about I miss evil characters. I miss unnuanced evil characters. Just bad guys. And it's so hilarious. And Mike says this is even more ridiculous in the books, but like his disguises that like no adult recognizes at all, and the children just immediately recognize it's him, and they never have any luck explaining to anybody that it's Count Olaf. They just don't hear a word they're saying. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, like they go to work at a sawmill and no one questions the fact that there's a 3-year-old with them. Like a baby that can't even talk.
Does the baby get older in the books?
Yeah.
That's fun. So by the 13th book, is she talking?
I think she can walk. Well, no, I think she can always walk. But like
she gets carried by the older sister.
I think the older sister can understand her anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in the movie the baby has subtitles for what it's saying.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
But in the books, I think it's just like the baby made a sound like which I think might have meant, and it's like an entire sentence of what the baby was saying.
Gotcha. Right. In the movie, the baby's just like, huh? And like sometimes it's funny and sometimes it doesn't really work.
What's great about those books is that they actually are written for children, but they're dark. Like their parents are dead and like terrible things constantly happen to them. I mean, it's just like every time something seems like maybe it'll work out, it just gets dashed on the rocks immediately. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, like they actually go to live with their Uncle Monty, who's like this really cool guy, and then he just gets killed in 10 minutes, which I guess maybe heightens that in some ways, because you do get to see how cool he is before he dies. Right, you get to imagine what their lives would have been like if he just lived. I think. Oh yeah, don't they even say like, and they lived happily ever after? Yeah, and then I'm like, sorry to say, that's not really what happens. Yup. So a series of unfortunate events like that movie is also sort of like a foreclosure on something, because they obviously were hoping it would do well enough for them to make another, and they leave the ending kind of open, 20 years ago, like hoping that the movie would do like fucking Harry Potter numbers and they'd get to make another, but clearly they didn't. I guess recently they made a show, right? Yes, they made a Netflix made a show. Yeah, with Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, as Count Olaf, and it was okay. It felt like the movie, but more of it, I guess. Like I feel like if you want to see all those other stories as a movie, then the show's fine. But I feel like reading the books and watching the movie is what is a good premium experience. Yeah. No, I mean, you'd really have to
You'd really have to get down on your knees and beg me to watch a fucking Netflix series.
It's not that it's not good. It's just that it's a fucking show.
So much. Just so much. Don't have time.
And Neil Patrick Harris is like, I'm not letting him replace Count Olaf in my mind.
Right.
Like he'll still be Jim Carrey to me. It's okay if it's not perfect.
Right.
It's okay if he has a little bit of Jim Carrey in him, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so.
He did
Don't
that
we all?
with Eggman. I mean, it's Dr. Eggman, but Jim Carrey is really just Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. Like when he gets up into the foreground and laughs about the thing he just said, like that's just him. Yeah, Mike was kind of disappointed that like Meryl Streep wasn't given more. Like Jim Carrey kind of improvises and does his own thing a little bit, but she really doesn't get a chance to do that. She does her very actory acting that she does, but like the amount of material she gets to work with is pretty limited.
I do always think about her performance in that movie. I love that part where she's like, well, this is where we live now.
Yeah.
This cave.
Yeah.
This is it.
Did you kids get groceries?
Did you get the groceries? It's like he didn't ask for roast beef and demands roast beef.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for groceries but expects groceries. She's like, how will we eat?
Yeah.
It's like we're not gonna live here in this cave. It's like, what are you talking about? This is our home.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
I love too when she like sees the real estate agent and she screams.
Well, I don't think a role has to be big necessarily to be good. Yeah. I liked her in it. Although
that's fair.
I think I can definitely feel it from the way this movie is compressed. There's 3 stories from 3 books they're trying to cram into 1 hour and 30 minutes. I
mean, what I'm disappointed by was like, I was like, I want to see Jim Carrey as Captain Sham wooing Meryl Streep's character for quite a bit longer than we did. Yeah. We see one scene where he invites her, she invites him over for dinner, and then we never see them together again, which I just found disappointing. I really wanted to see them in a romantic dinner together and the children protesting,
Yeah, that would have been good. Do they have a scene like that previously where they're at dinner with the snake guy?
I don't know if they have dinner with the snake guy. I don't think so. I think they're just like sitting by a fireplace with him at night or something. But yeah, I just wanted to see more of that seduction. Yeah. I wanted to see him do more of that to her.
Well, yeah, that was a good scene where he's like, he like just appears in town and pretends to have a fake leg.
Yes.
And he's Count Olaf. And he just like, makes his Jim Carrey face.
Yeah, his angry face, like, shut up, kid. And then they push him over and he has a wooden leg, and it just is enough doubt for them that they let it go. Like it just inspires enough doubt in them that they don't keep going, it's Count Olaf, it's Count Olaf. Oh my god, so funny.
He's literally Hitler.
Yes, that's like, I guess the scene I'm looking for is the scene you had in Literally Hitler.
Yeah, I love that movie and those books, so I made Literally Hitler after reading some of those books.
Ah, that makes perfect sense. Wow. Yeah, just like this lonely mother thinking that he seems nice, and just being willing to trust so much.
Well, yeah, it's like the frog and the scorpion. It's like me and this fish. It's like, don't worry, I'll bring you safely to the other side without killing you.
Didn't you know I was the scorpion? Wait, yeah.
I guess it's the opposite where, oh my god.
The scorpion rides the frog.
Yeah. He's drowning Mary.
Oh, no. All right, we got a couple minutes left. We have any heroes and villains for the night?
Heroes and villains. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I did have one thing I wanted to bring up to you.
Yeah.
I wanted your opinion on this. I saw a car. You know when you get off the 76 by our house, there's a red light that lasts fucking forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you get behind it, you really get acquainted with the car in front of you. So Subaru Outback with 2 bumper stickers. One, vote like your rights depend on it. Pretty standard stuff to find on a Subaru. The other one said, heal the planet, cook dinner tonight.
On one sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, a picture of the planet, heal the planet, cook dinner tonight.
As opposed to ordering Grubhub and destroying the planet.
I guess so. But okay. Okay, so all right, so Grubhub, yeah, sure, it might come in a plastic clamshell container, right? And a guy drove it to your house, right? And you're probably going to also use disposable cutlery because you don't want to fucking clean anything. I still just like it was so strange to me that those were the 2 causes. Like, vote for the president and cook your dinner instead of ordering it. That makes sense to you, I suppose. Do you agree with the message of the sticker?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna save the planet. The planet doesn't have to be saved.
Well, I think it was heal the planet. It was heal the planet. But I think crucially, every time you consume food, you are doing the opposite of healing something. And the only way to be a net gain would be to kill yourself.
Heal the planet, kill yourself.
I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that would be more effective.
I'm imagining the people who get out of their cars to beat you up, like beating you up.
Heal the planet. Kill me.
Heal the planet, beat people up.
Get out of your car and beat me up. I'll be drinking liquid food for the next few weeks.
Yeah, that'll heal the planet. Drink liquid food.
In theory, right?
I don't know. I mean, what's gonna heal the planet? And heal from what? Does it have cancer?
Yeah, it's kind of like a 90s thing.
I mean, you
it's
know,
like the planet's dying cloud.
What everyone means by that is reduce CO2.
Reduce CO2, yeah. Well, you know what my opinion about that is.
Yeah.
If you want to reduce CO2, be very selective about what foods you're eating to begin with.
Right. Cooking dinner isn't nearly enough.
No, but it's as far as this person is willing to go.
I'll cook dinner tonight. I'll smoke some ribs. I'll chop down a palm tree to make the smoke.
Right. I'll smoke them for 8 hours.
I made dinner tonight.
Also,
and for tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. See? Healing the planet.
Healing the planet, one rib at a time.
Now, I have nothing wrong with people going as far as they feel they can possibly go. Just maybe you shouldn't advocate for that. For going as far as you will personally go.
Yeah, because like the amount you can actually do to heal the planet is so little that you don't want to admit it. So you should probably just do it and not talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably be best.
Making bumper stickers isn't healing the planet.
No! Those things are made of plastic! Heal the planet. Just printing those things out.
I hear there's a fungus that eats plastic. Can we use the fungus to eat your stupid bumper sticker?
I would love if I could just spray that fungus on things and make them dissolve. They're like,
except first you use your fungus resistant stencil on it and you have it make a new design in the bumper sticker.
Right, I'm not trying to ruin the other stickers or the bumper itself. Just this one thing. I have like an angle finder. And I use that to spray my plastic eating fungus on things that I don't like.
Things you don't like.
Anyway, Thingus Hero, the person who inspired me to develop that technology.
Yeah, we ended the stream right before talking about a guy of ginger last time.
You're right. Joe and I both independently discovered that we call a unit of ginger a guy.
Yeah, like I just said a guy of ginger. I have that written down.
In your notes, yeah.
And Meredith was like, yeah, we got a guy of ginger the other day. It's like, wait, you say that too?
Yeah, we've been saying it, and we didn't talk about this. We've just been saying it. A guy of ginger.
That's what they come in. It's a guy.
Yeah, no. What are you getting? Look, anything less than a guy is a leg of ginger or an arm of ginger. But if you're stocking up for the week or a few weeks, because you put that in your fridge, it lasts. You're getting a whole guy.
A guy of ginger. I love that.
I love my ginger guy. I love my guys of ginger.
Yeah.
I've had so many great guys just this year alone.
The ginger guy.
Yeah, you gotta catch him. He moves like the character from Rez, like his balls.
I don't think I played that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can imagine a 3D guy made of ball sockets that all move around, that's the ginger guy. The ginger man, right? Before modern pastry cooking, I don't know how fucking old gingerbread has to be. Like 7,000 fucking years old, right?
Yeah.
Whenever before that, children would sing about the ginger man.
The ginger man. They would just eat ginger.
Yeah, they dig him up. They dig him up from the ground, dust him off, and chase him. I'm the ginger man. You can catch me. I'm very cumbersome. It's hard for me to run.
Yeah, I have it written down right here. If the title card is red, a good one's ahead. If the title card is black, never come back.
Truly words to live by if you're watching the TV show The Rugrats. Well, should we call it a night, guys? Thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, good Thingus. A happy Thingus to you all. We'll see you next time.